Hello, good evening, and welcome. And that's as polite as I'm going to be.
Not
Oh, no.
necessarily in that order, but you get the gist.
What do you want?
Yeah,
Just go with the flow here. Go with the flow. Tonight's show is going to consist of me moaning, a rare occurrence,
how novel.
things falling off the shelf on their own, and Tyler's erectile dysfunction.
Always got to get me at least in the first 30 seconds of the show.
Okay, no, being serious, we are going to talk about medication and more to the point, doctors and health service at the moment in the UK. And probably America, to be fair, with obviously with Tyler being on. And the fact that at the moment we've got this thing of them either withholding prescriptions until you book an appointment to see the doctor, stopping certain medications, trying to get you onto other medications. And it is serious because I've had medications sort of stopped and I've had to go and see the doctor and kick up a fuss. And I've had to go now, got to go and see the pain clinic again, joy of joys. But there is this case in the news that Bill and I saw. I don't think Tyler saw it, but of a guy in the UK who suffered with severe epilepsy. Hey up, Hanky. Hope you're well, buddy. It sort of concerns you as well, this Steve. Yeah, it's Steve, isn't it, Hanky's real name?
Yeah,
A guy who had severe epilepsy and had grand mal fits, which is the more severe, the worst type of, in case anybody doesn't know. And they basically withheld his medication, and the guy had a fall.
no, it was worse than that.
Evening free.
The pharmacy gave him an IOU note and didn't prescribe it.
Sorry, yep,
That's right.
It was medication not being available at point of prescription.
Now,
And it was the second time it had happened, which meant he'd already have gone into his emergency supply.
I understand them not always having medications, and if that medication is, say, painkillers or say something like that, and they say, have you got some spare? Have you got, that you can use? Okay. Because if you've got enough to tide you over for that period, great. Or they can give you a filling, a gap stop. When you're talking about medication that has to be taken, like epileptic medications, like bipolar medications, antipsychotics, which have to be taken if they're not taken on time, as most people know, causes really severe adverse side effects. Really severe.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, this gentleman has died from it. The only reason we're talking about it is because the coroner actually said in the coroner's court it was down to the doctors and the chemists. It was their fault, basically. Evening, Lisa. Evening, Lee. Hope you're both well.
Yeah, it was a contributory factor.
I don't want people thinking that I'm going to sit here for the entire show slagging off the National Health Service, because I don't think this is the National Health Service. I personally think this is a directive from above, a political directive from the government, who are saying we need to cut down the cost on prescription and medications. And I put that firmly and squarely on the head of our current government.
Yeah. I mean, it comes down to medication you and I take,
Hmm.
they won't even allow us the generic of it.
And that's
Because,
the one that scares the fuck out of me.
yeah, me too. They can't prescribe us the generic.
It was
Even
Bill's
though-
idea, Lisa. He wanted to do the Dr. Crippen thing. I think he secretly wants to be Jack the Ripper. That's what it is.
Matt, that's what it is. When he was messing with the light earlier, that's what he looked like.
Well, he has got the cape, hasn't
You know?
he? Evening, Gary. Hope you're well, bud.
I get it. You're right, Free.
It,
There are some medications where they won't give us the generics because even a slight variation in the actual drug can cause problems.
yeah.
And I know for a fact the generic of one medication that you and I take, Matt, the generic costs about a tenth.
I
It's
don't.
something like, it's about 40 pence a tablet on a generic.
It's even down to that. I'll tell you a good example of this is Lisa, actually. And anybody who's had lately who's had to have, like, years ago, if you had a district nurse came round and you had a wound of any sort, where they had to come round and change your dressing, half the time you'd end up with a fucking cupboard full of fucking dressings because they'd leave like fucking 10 of them there. You'd end up with loads of them in the cupboard, which was great because then if you ever need them, brilliant. But they're limiting that and knocking it back and not giving you the ones. Yeah, it was your fault, Lisa. It's always your fault. I'm blaming you. No, I'm just saying about the fact of how years ago they used to leave all of the dressings, that you'd get like 10 or more dressings. You'd get more than you ever needed. Nowadays, they don't do that. You're expected to go and get it.
Add to that, it used to be the district nurses used to carry a supply of them.
No, hanky, dressings, not dresses. Wrong show.
Depends which dresses you're going to wear, though, Steve.
It's not the dresses, it's what he was wearing underneath him that worries me. It was hot.
No, I haven't got dresses. Admittedly, I used to borrow them off girlfriends, partners, whatever. But I've never actually owned a dress.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Oh.
I did own the underwear, though. Oh, God, this is going to set Steve off.
Oh, for fuck's sake. This is...
Open mouth, insert foot.
10 minutes in and already the show's gone. As usual. Trying to keep Semi on subject before Steve derails us anymore.
No one wants to know about your semi, Matt. Can we get on the actual topic of the night?
You might send me out of this.
You brought it up.
Evening, William.
Evening, William.
Hey, William.
I don't think this is the NHS. I think it's the NHS being given a directive by our current government, if that's what you can call them, who are trying to cut costs in every corner of the country in any way means possible.
But they don't realise that there are a lot of cases where generics are not suitable
No, they're not.
medically.
Yeah.
And so
for
they're
God's
trying
sake,
to,
me
trying,
and
to
Tyler.
trying to get
I
people
got
over
an
to
ink on my back
using.
today.
I mean, I had it at the start of this year, didn't I? When I had to phone start of last year, I mean, when I had to phone 111 because I realised they hadn't even given me an IOU. They just hadn't supplied me with my medication.
To be fair, I mean, your chemist is pretty good. My chemist locally is pretty good. If I go in and I say, shit, I've run out of such and such a medication, or, it's my fault, I screwed up, I forgot, blah, 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 blah. Put the prescription in today, but they'll usually, right, where they can, they will help out as much as possible.
Yeah, the chemist I'm with now will.
Hanky, there's pictures on my Facebook of me and a bra, actually. That's all we shall say on that one.
That's it. Hanky's disappeared for 5 minutes. He's looking.
Go and take your time.
But
there's people that do have to have, like Steve we had on last week, obviously have to have dressings and medication. There's a lot of people who have to have this medication, and the problem we've got at the minute is we've got a government that wants to take it all away from people. It's dangerous. I hate to say it. I think Tyler's in for going to be the same sort of thing in America, because now they've got the great orange balloon coming into power. He's bound to screw something up somewhere.
that's it. For Tyler, I really dread to think what's going to happen, because they're already price gouging in America.
Oh, yeah.
And we're
It's
heading
gonna
the same way.
Yeah, but it's going to get worse in America. I know there were a couple of American companies who already have withheld some medications,
William,
so they can sell them on their own market for a much higher price.
William, there are pictures on my Facebook of me in a bra if you really, really need to know.
At this rate, Matt, you need to put like $1 charge or something per view, because these guys are going to make some money.
That's all right. I'm putting my OnlyFans up like that. I was going to do it ages ago, but it's been hard getting hold of baby oil since P. Diddy got caught in it. Oh, God. Now, William's got I was about to say about that one, Hanky. Obviously, it's up to Tyler, but obviously Tyler, as people know, Tyler's long friend. And I will say friend.
Yeah.
It's not a pet, it's a dog.
No.
But it is. And anybody losing an animal is like losing a loved one. It really is. It is horrible.
I mean, it was one of those situations where, honestly, thankfully I left work when I did and got home, in the time that I did and everything else. So.
It's, yeah, I don't know. I mean, we've talked about it, and it's, yeah, there's not a lot you can really say about it, mate, to be perfectly honest. It's no different to losing, family member, because they are a family member. So, end of.
Yeah.
End of. Yeah. And anybody that says any different, they're fucking wrong. They really are.
I mean, that applies to any pets
It does. Oh God, yeah. It's
because
horrible. It's horrible.
yeah, I mean, I'm very much a cat person, and the effect having to have my last cat put down took me a couple of weeks to get over that.
Well, that, I mean, not to get too detailed about everything, but the people were literally a half hour from getting here when she went. You know,
I mean, she went. I mean, she went sort of peacefully, so that's
it
kind
was
of to be.
wasn't a long process for the most, you know, at the end. So put it that way.
Yeah, that's something to be. If you can be grateful for something, I suppose
Yeah,
it's still not nice. Still not nice, mate. But yeah, hopefully that will start to be a bit easier as time goes on, mate.
I mean, like tomorrow being my first day back to work and having to come home, that's gonna be hard. You know, I mean, I can't say it's not.
Yeah, it will be. It will. It will. It's very strange when you.
but
I'm hungry.
You are a gremlin.
it's an unfortunate fact of life, though. We generally outlive our pets,
I'm hungry.
Yeah.
and yeah, they are family.
Yep.
I mean, because I used to be away quite a lot, my neighbour used to come in and look after my cat. And she was heartbroken when I had to tell her that I'd had to have her put down because her kidneys are packed in.
Yeah.
So it affected Liz, my neighbour, nearly as much as me.
It's, you know, like Lee just said, it affected his
Yeah.
dad badly. It's yeah. No, you don't, William. I think that's very true. A pet is sort of just there. It's always there. And I don't mean that I didn't take notice of Trixie, my dog, but they're just
No,
sort
but
of always
It's
there.
it's a constant in your life that you're not used to not being there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a better way of putting it, mate. And I think it's just, and when it's not there, yeah, that's it's a real
yeah.
head.
I mean,
It really screws with your mind. That does really. So,
I had my last cat. I had her for just short of 17 years.
yeah,
That's a long time.
it is for a cat, mate. It's a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And she was very definitely a house cat. She wouldn't go out.
yeah,
Furthest she'd go was she'd sit on the windowsill.
yeah.
When I had my previous house, the furthest she would go, she would sit on the back wall.
Yeah.
She wouldn't leave the property. But I'd get in from work, and first thing she did was she was up on my shoulder and stroking into my neck. And if I then went out the back door, she would jump onto the back wall when I went to the shop. And when I came back, she would jump off the wall straight back onto my shoulder the second I was back. And it's things like that. They stay with you because you realise you're codependent. You rely on each other completely. But I actually had her brother as well, and her brother was killed. And from the day he was killed, she would never leave my property. Up to that point, I had one cat in, the other one was out. They'd come back. That one would come back. I had both cats in for one night. Then the other one would go out for 24 hours, and they would alternate that way. But a brother, I have never known a cat like him. He used to crawl into the bed, and whatever you did, you made sure you did not touch him, didn't stroke him, didn't give him any attention whatsoever, because he used to drool when you stroked him. For such a small animal, you'd be amazed he could actually soak 3/4 of a double bed.
Dad.
Yes, it was the cat.
Aw, I never had this.
There were nights where I finished up sleeping on the sofa, letting the bed dry out.
Craig is currently at a bus drivers meeting.
Oh,
In
they had
other
to
words-
go back over lefts and rights, didn't they?
In other words, they'll all turn up late. There'll be more in the room than there should be. And then they'll go on strike. Now, he had some meeting that he's got to do for work. He said hopefully he should be in as soon as he can.
Yeah. But
I just
No,
can't believe Bill blamed the cat for soaking the bed.
no, if I made the mistake of stroking the cat, he would have the bed soaked before he even got in it.
That's why we buy this. No, like right.
Well, I presume they're having it actually at like a meet at work somewhere. I'm presuming they're not all the bus drivers are gathered at a bus stop somewhere.
Well, let's stop 27 on the 39 route.
So any jokes about Craig, get him in now before he turns up and starts moaning.
Let's hurry. Let's hurry.
Okay. I'll do the obvious one. Anybody bought anything vape-wise this week?
Yeah. Got this little thing, the Kill Light Pro.
Yeah. Oh, William's been buying something. Any chance you're going to tell us what it is, or do we have to guess? Oh no, Hanky! I think we'll have to have a team meeting and kick him into line, give him a formal warning. I have bought nothing again this week, right, boys? Can't be bothered. There's nothing out there. Yeah. I see Bogan's done another cash grab for his new RDA. Bogan's doing a new RDA. That's what I meant. Sorry.
Like I said earlier, as the beginning of the review went on, I was tempted, I liked the design idea until I saw the deck.
And it was the Dead Rabbit.
It's literally 4 square posts. So there's nothing to it. Like there's no
Dead Rabbit 2.
Yeah.
So it's the Dead Rabbit, and with some stupid colours, probably pinks and blacks, for a guess.
Iridescent purple that changes color when e-liquid hits it.
I think they should take the N out of Bonza and just call it the Boza or Bozo, because it's made by a fucking clown. I used to like Bogan, but what I'm not liking about a lot of these reviewers at the minute is they could be doing a lot to help certain parts of the industry and when it all goes, they need to remember that they're not going to have an industry to make money from. But hey ho.
I mean, I posted a link in the
Yeah,
Facebook.
exactly, William.
There's
UK beer.
there's a UK VIA thing. Basically, put your vape journey in and tell them why flavors matter and why vaping matters.
That could be interesting for some of them. Having to get a real job, Lee.
Well, think how many of these TikTokers got so lucky today in the in the US. They almost had to get real jobs.
You mean they get paid for doing that stupid shit that half of them do?
Depending on what they're doing, they have like affiliate links and all that shit.
Well, it's like YouTube Shorts. You can get paid for doing YouTube Shorts. It's absolutely insane.
Well, it's what it is, I suppose.
Yeah, you take care, Steve.
Thank you, buddy. Take care, Steve.
Hey, man, have a good one.
But no, I mean the whole TikTok thing. They're making a lot of money. Some of them.
Yeah.
They're looking at 5 figures a month.
I suppose, I'm sat here taking a mickey out of it, but I suppose if you can make money for being a complete idiot, yeah, I suppose you'd be an idiot not to do it in one respect, wouldn't you?
Well, I mean, they used to be able to make a lot of money on YouTube. So there's still some people can. Depends what you're doing. Hey up, Steve.
Hey up, buddy.
How's the leg doing, mate? I'd like to hope improving.
I'd like to think it's improving, yeah. Exactly. To do what you do every day, William, and you get paid for it.
I mean, there were TikTokers making 100, 150,000 a year. And if they get caught, then they get taxed on it. If they've been a bit clever with the names and what have you, then they don't even pay tax, half of them.
Fuck's sake, Steve. That's not good.
Sorry to hear that, mate.
They're going to have to. Well, they're going to have to get you back in, aren't they? Probably. Trouble with antibiotics is there's only so many antibiotics they can give you, isn't there?
I was just thinking that's going to be the next one. They'll have you in for IV antibiotics. It's possibly the only way.
I mean, it's got to be something more they can do, I would have thought, but exactly, William.
Yeah.
And your body gets so used to them, doesn't it? This is why it irritates me, people who mess with medication. Oh, this medication ain't working. We'll give it a chance. Well, yeah, but it's not working. I need a different one. And there's doctors out there who just swap people around on medications like piece of cake.
Oh yeah.
You know, yet there's people who genuinely need it, and it's not, and I'm getting it.
Right, so that's next step, is it, Steve? Tissue viability.
Fuck's sake. Words like that scare me when you read.
Yeah.
And that, how that affects Steve, I dread to think, but it's, you know where we are, Steve. You want to chat, mate?
Goes without saying.
It might very well sound like somebody we know, Lee. Yes. You could be right there. Yeah. I would do anything not to be on any medication right now. I really would. I'd love to be not on any. You know, be great. But hey ho, that's not going to happen. So.
It's like people who have a go about the fact you and I can't work. I would love to walk back into a workshop and do my job. I really would. But I can't even walk through the door of a workshop with the medication.
Yeah. I think William's having a go at you.
I'll say, what now? I saw my name. What now?
He's telling you about diabetes, mate.
Yeah.
Personally, I totally agree with William. You've got to
take it seriously at the start, because if you don't, the decline can be very quick.
Yeah.
Well, you've only got to look what happened, like Steve said last week, and put the pictures up. You've only got to look how it went from being, oh, my toe hurts or my foot hurts, to shit, where's my leg gone? Well, it wouldn't be the first time you've been legless, Steve, but hopefully, Steve, they'll be able to get find out exactly what is causing this infection and then do some treatment in that, because you know the good. I mean, you have got a very good hospital that you're at, so that's one thing that's good.
Yeah.
And this time you're certainly, I think you're ahead of it a bit, so hopefully they'll be able to offer you some help and get you the right treatment. It's just finding the treatment that works.
That's sometimes the problem, because some things become resistant.
It is.
I mean, this is why they're trying to find a completely new group of antibiotics, because there are now bugs that are resistant to almost all of them. or you've got to hit the body almost like chemotherapy and kill it.
Yeah, I wasn't going to obviously say Lisa, but I mean, obviously, Alana said about what was going on, and it sounds like something possibly because of diabetes, possibly. But that needs treating. They need to get that and treat it quickly.
Yeah.
Obviously, before it gets to a even more serious level. Yeah, I agree, William. I think that's the thing. I think you've got to push the doctors a bit now, really, in a kind of a careful way to start with. And then if they don't budge on it, is either change the doctor or push a lot harder, because if you leave it and you wait, like you said, you've all got a lot more experience than I have of any of this, it's going to end up in a situation that is really serious, really serious. I mean, obviously diabetes affects your immune system. It wrecks that. So
yeah, it affects multi-system.
Yeah,
because it's your whole endocrine system, which you.
Yeah, I mean your levels, Lisa, are going up and down ridiculously fast.
That's
there's
not
there's something not right there. I mean, obviously not right. You know that, and need to find out what is causing that. It's preferably before the NHS completely goes to pot and we don't have an NHS, which way it's going. That wouldn't shock me if that happens. And if that happens,
I'll tell you what, that would be a terrifying prospect if we went to an insurance-based system like America.
I've already thought about it, Bill, and it scares the fuck out of me, to be honest.
Yeah.
It really scares me. Because there's no way you're going to get an insurance company to insure you or me. They're not going to do it. Or
No.
if they do,
it's going to be a premium price.
Yeah, which neither of us are going to afford. It's not possible. It's going to be out of our reach.
Make my food.
It's like one that, because as you know, I go on Quora quite a lot.
Yep.
Keep reading this thing. Oh, how fantastic the American health system is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic for 5% of the people who can afford to pay more money per month than we earn in the UK.
And I bet you that 5%, most of them are either in very high up in big business, and so it's paid for by the companies, or they're in pharmaceutical.
Yeah.
If we go down that route, there's going to be a lot, and I mean a lot of people who are going to end up dead. Sorry, I know that is a real fucking horrible way of looking at it, but it's a reality. And I would have thought me and Bill would probably be dead not very long.
Well, I mean, think about like the homeless population here. I mean, there's a lot of health issues there, and not many, if any at all, are getting any kind of help.
I would bet 40% of the homeless population were made homeless by health issues.
Related.
Yeah, actually,
Mental-
yeah.
A lot of it will be mental health related issues.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm thinking of they've been injured in an accident, they've caught an infection, and they've been bankrupted by the hospital, lost their home because of it.
Yeah.
And they're now homeless.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's like William just said there. His leg,
Yeah.
£40,000.
Yeah.
Like he said, there's no way he'd be able to afford that. And what there are very few people in reality who can just afford to spend out £40,000. And obviously, at some point in William's life, he'll obviously have to have that changed, or it'll be repaired, or a new one, or whatever, because it'll wear out. So it's going to have to be replaced. So
I was going to say, what's the lifespan of those artificial limbs, William?
what's the price of them on eBay if somebody nicks it? I'm going to nick a leg.
Is there any rare metals I can take to the scrapyard? That's all I want to know.
Well, there's titanium and carbon fibre in a lot of them.
And there's the nerve sensors. They're quite expensive.
Right, that's it, William. I'm finding out what I'm going to leave you parked up on. I'm leaving you parked on brick.
Borrow your leg for a couple of days, and you'll get it back. I promise.
Oh, fuck that. I'm just going to leave him parked on bricks like a clapped out old Cortina.
William, £10 each. I was reading one, somebody was paying £20 per tablet for paracetamol. Per tablet.
And America wonders why it's got a fentanyl issue, right, with illegal fentanyl imported from China.
Wait, hold on.
Because it's cheaper to go and buy fentanyl on the cheap.
She's trying to get my food.
Aspirin and paracetamol. I can go into local supermarket and buy a box of 25 for about £1.50.
Yeah, or less, probably.
Honestly, I haven't bought aspirin for a while, so I'm going to look at it on Walmart just to get the actual price. But it shouldn't be that high.
The only thing is, with paracetamol, they're only allowed to sell one box of 25 in supermarkets. So my 2 boxes of 100 would be completely illegal.
Yeah.
It's $10 a bottle for a 500 count.
So you go into hospital and they're charging you $20 each.
Oh, probably.
$5,000.
I'll be honest, I've not actually looked at the price of them for a long time because I don't buy them.
Well, I don't. At the moment, we're lucky we're supported by the NHS. And I don't want people to think that I'm being down on the NHS itself. I'm not.
The NHS itself, I think, is brilliant.
Because this is not an NHS issue. It is not the NHS that are causing these issues in the UK. The issues are being caused by the management and the people in government who are passing down what you need to do. So it
It's
all
also,
goes back to the government again.
it's also being caused politically by the NHS not being allowed to pay the price America wants for drugs.
Somebody somewhere needs to do something about big pharmaceutical companies. These big pharma companies should never have been allowed to get as big as they've got.
Or as powerful as they've got.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, Lee. It's always down to the politicians. Always.
Yeah.
It doesn't
I mean,
matter how you look at it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the politicians that dictate what the MHRA are allowed to offer for medication to buy it.
All right, if you
It's
want to
all
bring
there in a massive political. It's all there on a massive political spreadsheet.
here's one for you. If you want to bring in a system in this country where we have to have insurance, okay, I'll agree. On one condition, that people who get below a certain living income, be they workers, Lee, people like Lee, or be they people who are disabled or are on benefits, they get national health support. They get, as we are now.
Yeah,
If you're a highly powered executive or politician,
you pay.
you pay your insurance because you're above the favourite word in the papers at the minute, you're above that tier money wise. So you pay.
There's another point I would want to raise on that.
I don't want to
That-
see your raised point.
Not penalising people for pre-existing conditions, because under the NHS that term doesn't exist.
Yeah.
You simply have that condition. Not pre-existing. You've had it a while.
Yep.
But the American system, if you've got a pre-existing, they can cancel your policy on it. And they've done it.
Yep.
Hey,
I agree, William. I agree. Big pharmaceutical companies do have a lot to lose regarding cigarettes. This is why they are so dead set against the whole vape thing, because they know they stand to lose billions of pounds. And that is why the fight that we had, and I do say it we had against them, was always going to be an uphill fight. But the problem is nobody wanted to take that fight on. So now we're in a position where Big Pharma has got to be sat there thinking, another few months and we'll be all right. That's it.
Yeah.
So as business-wise goes, yeah, they played it right. They're not stupid.
Big Pharma, they don't give a toss about people.
Oh no.
All they care about is, can they invent a new drug, and then can they find a condition that they can say
I
it
was
true
just going to say that.
and sell that at a premium.
Like COVID.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sick of these. Have you seen the Paxlovid commercials from Pfizer? Everywhere.
No, we don't get those commercials in the UK.
I've heard about them, though.
Yeah, I've heard about them.
They're
But then-
supposedly for adults in the early days of COVID symptoms to make it, it won't get rid of it and it won't prevent it, but it'll make it hopefully less severe. Hopefully.
I'm not saying that COVID, or whatever you wish to call it, I'm not saying COVID didn't exist. Okay, there was a flu epidemic, a bad flu. Okay, and it affected a lot of people. I know that. The issue was, I believe, that flu epidemic was probably genetically enhanced
yeah,
by somebody like Big Pharma. Now, you can say, get your tinfoil hats out, Matt's on one of his fucking, off the planet again. But the fact is, it was amazing how all of these companies, big pharmaceutical companies, within minutes of it coming along, it's all right, do not fear, we've got the remedy here, look. And none of
Yeah.
that in America had to go through testing.
Right.
None of it went through testing. It was given to people, bang, instantly.
yeah,
So everything else in America and the rest of the world has to go through all this testing to make sure it's okay. But that didn't. Why?
well, for one thing, because they used us as the guinea pigs.
I agree, Lee. Communist flu does sound like a good name for a song. Blowing his own fucking trumpet again. Hey, that could be in you. You could do a metal jazz interpretation.
No.
Jazz funk metal.
Jazz funk metal with a doom beat.
Yeah,
I just it just amazes me how badly Big Pharma get away with things.
I mean, it is insane what they get away with.
Well, it didn't affect vapors as badly
I took my tummy.
because of the PG content in the vapes. The PG actually helped fight off some of that.
Yeah,
But of course, don't forget, William, vaping is deadly. It will kill you. Now, people
it's
may
going to
have
take a
noticed,
couple of 100 years.
yes, and a lot of vaping. Did anybody else notice the post that I put up about the celebrity from a soap opera who died from vaping this week?
Yes.
Yes. Now, he did die from a lung-related respiratory problem. That is confirmed. It is also confirmed that he was a vapor. What was left out of it all was the fact that he was on THC cartridges from America, which contain cannabis. But what is more comical about the whole situation is he was in court this coming week on charges of cocaine and cannabis.
Yeah.
That he was found with bags of it. I'm sorry. I've got no sympathy for him. I really haven't. If you're stupid enough and he'd already had pneumonia to then continue doing cocaine,
Yeah.
no.
Yes, it's tragic he died. Self-inflicted.
I feel sorry for his family. That's what I will say.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that they've lost a son, brother, whatever. I'm sorry. But somebody should have sort of pulled him to one side a lot quicker. But hey ho.
Well, I mean,
But of course, the papers are loving this. They're loving it because they can blame it on vaping again.
as usual, bullshit sells.
There was years ago, William, believe it or not, the media, as in newspapers and the news television programs, reported the news. You know, they reported the news that was out there occurring.
And they even had something called fact checkers.
Nowadays, we got those on Facebook, but they get it all wrong. Nowadays, they make up their own version of the news. Well, I could do that.
Oh, yeah.
I might do in a minute, actually. But anyway. Yeah. Apparently, he was a star and celebrity, Lisa, that lad. He was on some soap opera. Can't remember which one it was.
He was on, what do they call it, Backside. Oh, sorry, Brookside.
Oh, Brookside. I don't know what you've been watching.
He was also on Celebrity Love Island. Yeah.
Oh, he's a celebrity.
He's a celebrity.
Bullshit. I bet you Tyler watches Celebrity Love Island.
I'm not paying extra money to get y'all's version of television. Even I don't even pay to get our version of television. So
our version of television is better than the crap that you get.
Oh, yeah, it is. I've seen some of the American.
You know what? I remember being in Canada and America. I remember coming over years ago, and you're watching a program, right? And you're watching it, and you're halfway. I remember what film it was. It was Battle of the Bulge. And you're halfway through the tank scene, right? And there's like it's cannons going off and all this shooting going off. And the next thing, there's some bird with a bottle of Coke. There's no like, it goes to an advert progressively. It just goes bang. It just changes.
Yep.
It's like it's edited by a fucking Mank.
I forgot what the program was. There was some sort of romantic scene, and he goes, "Your eyes remind me of hemorrhoids."
Yeah, that's American TV.
But that was genuinely how the advert cut in. Didn't even wait for the end of the line because it was done on the clock.
Yep.
I think they should combine Celebrity Love Island with The Purge. So everybody on the island gets shot and hacked to pieces. Now that I'd watch.
Not a bad idea.
It's not, is it? I'll put it on. That's it.
You turn it into a live event. Shit.
See, that's next week's show sorted.
So next week's show's pay-per-view. Live Celebrity Purge.
Live Celebrity at 8:30. Watch Tyler be hacked to pieces by Vaping with Vic.
Now, all I can picture out of the outcome of that is like when you have a real young kitten and he sits there and scratches your ankles. You get those real little scratch. They'll bleed a little bit, but just those little scratches.
But no. Vic has unhidden powers. He'd bore you to death.
He'd sit here for an hour, explain how mech mods work for you,
Well, I hope
Vic
somebody.
hasn't a clue how mech mods work.
That's why it would
I
take
hope
him an hour.
I hope somebody tells him how it works in the first place. Celebrity vaping deathmatch. Oh yes, Lee.
Oh,
I
yes.
like it.
Yeah.
Hey, you could do the music. Well, we're on a money maker here, I'm telling you.
Hey, and cross it with Rollerball, the original.
Yes. This time next year, Rodney, we'll be millionaires. Or in prison. More likely to be in prison, to be fair.
Yeah, but we're heading that way anyway. I mean, let's face it.
That's very true.
I don't think our current Prime Minister would be very forgiving of our comments.
A remake of Pit and the Pendulum starring Keir Starmer. And guess where you are, mate? It's all right. I can engineer the pendulum. Don't worry.
Do you want it to be just sharp enough with a sawtooth edge? Make it last longer.
So Lee's had a troll, has he, on his channel? Oh dear. Do you know what? I always look on trolls, especially the arsehole, not me personally, but the idiot trolls. If you've got a troll on your channel, it's a good sign because it means you're making an impact somewhere, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, the problem is, if one comes into our chat, we need somebody who can out-troll you and me, Matt.
The thing is, if anybody comes near trolling, it'll just be like, okay. I thought you might, Lisa. I thought you might have had fun. They always get so angry though, those trolls, don't they? They get so angry and like nasty, and they think they're actually bothering people, and you sat there giggling to yourself, thinking you really are a fucking moron. Trolls like that have always made me laugh because if they're so good at what they're saying, and they're flagging you off for Lee's review or whatever it is, why aren't they doing their own channel?
Well, yeah.
I mean, there's obviously people who like Lee's channel. I mean, he's up to over 3,000 now. So if you don't like the channel, well, don't watch it. If you don't like the music that Lee does, well, don't watch it.
Don't watch it.
Watch it. It's simple. It's not rocket science. We haven't had actually any trolls come in and actually slate us while we've been doing a live show on Lee's, which I was hoping we would, because I thought that'd be quite funny.
No, there was one. Lisa dealt with him rather swiftly.
Oh, that doesn't shock me. By order of the boot.
Yep.
If people take what we're saying dead serious, what gets like on here, there are serious subjects. But if they're taking everything on here that it's meant to be taken seriously, there is something mentally wrong with you.
I mean, do we talk about serious stuff? Yes.
Yeah.
And do we treat that with the gravitas it deserves? Yes.
Yeah.
But you'll know instantly where one of us is getting bored with it.
There's got to be a sense of humour, because if we did an entire show and just stuck to what script there is, which isn't much of one,
I mean, first off, the show would be a half hour long.
Yeah, we just get bored.
That long?
Yeah, we just get bored. So I'm not being funny. I don't intend to do a show where everything's fucking planned and fucking. I can't be bothered.
No.
Cannot be bothered with it.
God, no.
It doesn't work. Shows like that, and it's been proven by other shows that have done it, and they've got it all worked out, and it doesn't work. That's not what people want. People want a show, and they can come in and have a bit of a laugh and take the mickey out of us, and which is fine. I don't care. You know, you want to come in here and take the mickey out of me, that's fine. That's cool. You know what I mean? We're friends with most of them we watch anyway, so
Right.
it doesn't stop in here. It's a usual daily occurrence of piss taking out of each other. That's cool. You know? Yes, there's like with Steve, there's a serious side. You know, Steve's obviously got his health concerns at the moment, and I really hope that gets sorted for Steve.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
Because they're worrying. They are worrying, bless him.
Yeah, I really hope it's sorted so that you keep the leg, Steve.
Well, he could have kept the other one.
In a jar.
Yeah, well, he'd have still kept it.
They won't let you anymore. You know, when they remove bits, they're not allowed to give you them back in jars anymore.
Really?
That's my leg. I want it back. You can't have it. Well, I want it.
Oh, trust me. When I had my gallbladder surgery, you know, over 10 years ago, if I had known, I'd have kept those because there was over 30 of them.
Yeah, they won't let you keep them. If you had things like gallstones and all that, they used to give you them in a little bottle.
Yeah.
Of formaldehyde with the warning: "Do not drink."
Exactly, Lee. That's what it's all about. It's about having. It's there to have a bit of fun, and I wouldn't do a show if I wasn't having fun and having a bit of, you know, and it was a bit of fun. I wouldn't do it. Simple. No. And people who set out on YouTube nowadays with the express purpose of, oh, I'm going to be vape famous or I'm going to be music famous and make lots of money. Yeah, no, you're not. You're an idiot.
I said that's the whole point in here as well, Lisa. If someone comes in and wants to start being racist or start being personally nasty,
slobber to his parents.
Then they're gonna get kicked straight away.
Well, we had this last week, didn't we, with somebody who knows Tyler?
Yeah.
And I just answered every single question on purpose. I answered every single question that they wanted in a civil way because I couldn't be asked to sit here and say, well, what the fuck's it to do with you want it, you cough, rah, rah, rah.
Yeah.
I just thought, no. It's far easier to just sit there and give them all the answers and then to go, I've got nothing else to say.
I have a suspicion that really pissed that person off as well, because
I tried my best.
yeah, but we did give them decent, serious answers.
Yeah. No, it's
The only one they
Yeah.
didn't get an answer to was her very last comment before she left.
yeah. But she can't get back in because I blocked her after the show. So
Yeah,
I let her make an idiot out of herself before I blocked her. More fun.
well, she was good at it.
Yeah, she's very good at it. Obviously, another one of your fans, Tyler.
I have so many.
I just, you're going to get them. You really are. Lee's got them, and a lot of it is jealousy. A lot of it with Lee's channel, I guarantee it is jealousy by certain people.
Yeah,
When it's idiots that sit there and go, well, look, he's got this many followers. Yeah, because he started with 0 and worked his ass off making videos to get those followers.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we're all equal opportunity trolls in here. We'll insult anybody.
Yes, I am an equal opportunity troll. I'm a bastard to everybody.
You know,
Well, that's also true, Lee. Yeah. His AliExpress sex doll poses.
oh, that was brilliant that day. I'm going to say, money's never been the issue.
No, there isn't any.
No.
Never likely to be fair. You're not going to make any money in YouTube now unless you come up with something unique. There's very few people, YouTubers now, who are making money.
No.
Apart from big YouTubers like people like Mr. Beast and people like that. Whistling Diesel. I actually like him because he's a bit of a troll. He winds people up.
I mean, and not always, but for the most part, to be a big YouTuber, you've got to be spending quite a bit of money per video, just to get the views.
Yeah, good luck to him, Lisa. Good luck to him. He's. I was never really a fan of his channel personally, because a lot of what he did really wasn't my type of thing. But he worked at it and worked at it and worked at it, and yeah, he's done well. He has done well for himself. As much as it'd be nice to have 500,000 subs on your channel, Lee, I think it might be pushing the boundaries of getting to 500,000. I think might be pushing it a bit. Mind you, you never know.
I'll say one of the problems that comes in though when you've got a big subscriber count is these live shows just become a shit show. You can't
Well, you
Yeah.
can't talk to anybody.
talk to anybody.
No, it's impossible. It's
And I mean, we said this from the outset. This show is about us reaching out, communicating with people, making sure our friends were okay.
Yep.
I wonder where the bus driver is.
He's missed the bus.
In more
Either
ways.
that, or either that or he's in the waiting room for the last 45 minutes and Matt just hasn't noticed.
No, I'm keeping an eye on it. Don't worry. I am actually keeping an eye on it for once. Yeah, if Lee lives to be 374 years old, he'll get a silver plaque. Hey, at the end of the day, Lee's numbers are going up. So
Yeah.
that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, and at the end of the meeting, they couldn't decide who was going to drive the bus home. Mainly because they were all pissed.
Bunch of pissed up bus drivers.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Yes, Lee. It is organic growth on your channel, unlike certain NASA structured channels. Yeah, who like to buy their subs and views. I've never seen the point in that. That is just, you buy your subs, you buy your views, but you're still only getting like views of 3 or 4 people per show.
Yeah, that's...
No, the best is when those channels go live and there's like 3 people in live, but they've got 4,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
Lee and I and Lisa, we know of a channel that somebody else doing that.
Know of more than that one channel.
Oh yeah, I can think of a few others.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how many big channels there are that have done it over the years.
Marsh, there was one big music channel that's been pretty much brought down, hasn't it?
There's been a few. Hasn't there?
Yeah, but I'm thinking of the one Phil's brought down.
Yeah.
He was on something like 4.5 million subscribers. Trying to tell you how to sing. Until it was proved it was all a scam.
There's a lot of channels out there that do it, mate. A lot.
Yeah.
And there's quite a few of the vaping channels that definitely have done it over the years.
And it makes no sense at all.
Well, it doesn't with vaping channels because they were demonetized 6 years ago now.
Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
I mean, it's like a post that a famous Scottish reviewer put up, moaning about Facebook, saying how Facebook. This was a great post. His words were basically, "I'm sick and tired of reviewers taking money for reviews and buying subs." Now, I'm not going to say that he ever has bought subs, because I don't know if he has. Don't think he has, but I don't know. But the comment taking money for reviews, well, we know for a fact you've done that. You know,
I mean, you
We all
literally
knew-
every review call it a business.
we all knew exactly. We all knew that Facebook was down on vaping. We all knew
Yeah.
that YouTube is against the vaping thing. We get away with it because we mention it here and there, but not too much.
Well, yeah, we're not a vaping show.
You know, the hint's there. If these channels decide that vaping is illegal on their platform, I hate to say it, but there ain't fucking much you can do.
No,
They own that platform. It goes for anything. If they suddenly decided that anything to do with guns or cannabis or weed or whatever they didn't want that on there, they could just close it down.
I mean, you're not allowed weed on the UK channels anyway.
Which is
Exactly.
funny because from my IP here, I actually have a guy on YouTube that is a UK cannabis reviewer.
Yeah.
You know,
And yet we can't see him unless we use the proxy.
Yeah. But unfortunately, this is YouTube's rules. There's nothing we can do about that, and bitching and moaning about it is not going to change it. I'll tell you now. All YouTube will do is get fed up with you and find an excuse to get rid of you.
Yeah.
And I'm very surprised that he hasn't lost his channel yet.
There's a couple of people I'm surprised they haven't lost the channels.
I wouldn't be shocked if that is the next thing that happens.
Well, he's had a few videos removed recently, hasn't he?
Yeah, but he keeps going with it. He keeps putting up, I'm doing a review of blah, blah, blah mod or whatever. There's other ways you can do it. I think he is still getting paid. Right. In fact, I'm pretty sure.
I'm certain he's getting paid, certainly for some of it.
That'll be the one, Lisa.
yeah.
I'm not being funny. Vaping, when vaping was new, right? Vaping, when it was going to be a big hit on YouTube because everybody wanted to know about vaping.
Yeah.
But nowadays, everybody knows about vaping. They know what they need to know. They don't need people to tell them.
No. Well, it's like a discussion you and I have had, Matt. We can look at the design of a tank and say whether or not it's got something of interest, something actually new, something that will work.
Yeah.
Without ever physically seeing it, we can tell from photographs or even engineering drawings.
Exactly.
We can spot the flaws.
Yeah, you can.
And there's certainly one small Scottish person who can't.
Some say he is a fool. You're not going to get me to do. You're not going to get me to do a rant about him.
No, you're working on it yourself, aren't you? You're working
Yeah.
up to it on your own.
No, I can't be bothered. I really can't be bothered. I can't be bothered with him. It's,
You know, it's
that's the thing, Steve. We've all got mods. We've all got mods that we want. We don't need anything else, really, realistically. It doesn't mean I mean, there'll still be stuff that we'll buy. Yes, but
the last really new thing was the Max.
Yeah.
Look, I'm sat 2 old mods and 2 Maxes. And unlike a certain Scottish reviewer, mine's still original. And it's probably done a lot more puffs, much higher puff count on it.
be careful how you use the word puff. I'm sure he's done a lot of puffs. I mean, he does a show with one big puff.
No, that's a puff ball.
Unless he's at the pub getting pissed, and then the show just gets, canceled for the week.
Well, yeah.
That's how to keep.
And did you miss it?
What?
I mean, I couldn't say that I watched it in the past year, but
I can't say I missed it.
I don't think anybody has. That's the problem. I can remember 2 years, no, maybe 3 years ago, when he was getting nearly 1,000 people on a live show. Now he's lucky to get 120, 130. Doesn't that tell you something, Rick? That's all that matters, Steve. So long as you're happy with what so long as it does what you need it to do and you're happy with it.
I mean, that's what I mean. I mean,
So good.
G3 now is what, 3 years old? It's coming up 3 years old.
I'm on the Max with the G class.
Yeah.
Which now reads accurately.
Yeah.
I'm on the Nitrous, which I'm thinking of buying another one of them. I'm on the Mighty. I mean, my hands. I suppose my hands are reasonably big, but these small things appear larger in my hands. I keep telling Alana anyway.
Yeah, it was a useful video, and it does work.
It does.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, it's not a big difference, but it changes all the resistance issues.
Yeah.
you do realise, Lisa, I can ban you, you know. I wouldn't dare do it, but I can. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, he wouldn't do it because he knows his life wouldn't be worth living.
Oh, nice.
I must admit, I'm glad I posted the video in the group because
It's
such
useful.
such a simple fix.
No, I wouldn't dare ban you, Lisa. I wouldn't dare. Oh God, the short, vicious one. Oh, bless her. Coming up to her birthday soon.
Jeez, it's it.
Yep.
Where's the time gone?
More like, where's the rum gone?
Why is there never any rum?
Yeah, drank it all. I'd like to be able to say that now, but I can't. I haven't had any rum for years. This is true, Lisa. Yep, she's still going on about you two building a fort.
I just thought the funniest thing was the fact that the towel from Bill.
Fucking Bill turning her into the Turbinator. The trouble is, because she's still got like the very baby hair, very thin hair, so it don't really stay on her head. So when she runs off there, and it falls off and falls over her face, so she can't see where she's going. I'm just waiting for the day she runs into the
That's
door.
where the towel comes in useful, because it then acts as a crash helmet.
She can crash into things without the aid of anything over her face. We got in trouble earlier, actually, when Alana was trying to do Sunday dinner. We were playing catch in the kitchen, and the ball may have bounced off the kitchen side when she was trying to cut the chicken up. We both got shouted at and got thrown out the kitchen. Now there's a good idea. Good idea. We can fuck off out and leave them building forts.
Did you ever do it? Go to the supermarket when you were a kid and get all the big cardboard boxes?
Yes. I think everybody did that one, didn't they? As a kid. I suppose kids now don't do it, but kids don't do stuff like that anymore, do they? They've sort of lost the enjoyment of making stuff out of.
See, I might be old school as far as parenting goes, with electronics and all that, but my kids still enjoy that stuff. They'll still make boards, and,
No, good. I'm pleased to do, mate, because
yeah,
there's a lot of enjoyment to be had. I mean, all right, as a parent, yeah, the front room ends up wrecked because there's the sofa and
all the cushions are off the sofa stacked on their sides, and oh yeah.
But that takes 5 minutes to tidy up.
Every blanket in the house is used on that board.
Oh yeah, this
that sounds about right.
It's great, isn't it? Being plotted against by my fucking daughter. Ah, bless her.
And geez, what is she now? Coming up 6 or 7?
6.
6.
Yeah.
You lose track of time.
Yeah, you do. You do.
Oh, my little girl will be 7 this year. It's
come up so fast. I don't know. I think it's partly as getting older as well. Me being getting older. As you get older, right? I think Bill will agree with this. As you get older, our sort of age, time does go a lot fucking faster as you get older.
Yeah.
Definitely goes. It goes quickly.
It does. It's.
Some ways that's a good thing.
You look back at the things you do and you think, shit, that was 20 years ago. When you posted something in our chat, it appeared on my YouTube feed. Can you name a classic doom metal track? A new doom metal track that'll be a classic. And he quoted something from 20 years ago, and it's like, that's already a classic.
Hey, Stevie, I'm not allowed to make her a fort or a pirate ship. I'm banned. Auntie Lisa's got to do it. Auntie Lisa would probably do a lot better job anyway.
Yeah. Have you been buying any real potatoes lately, Tyler?
I got a fresh bag that I got yesterday.
Yeah, getting the kids all excited again.
You know what? We still have the powdered crap, right? That she had bought before. Tell me why my daughter keeps insisting on wanting that, not the real potatoes.
Yeah, it's because she wants to look after the real potatoes. Because
In her defense, that could be. It's kind of what she's used to.
Yeah.
Kids. I'd drive into it and exterminate it. Like, stick the toilet brush on my forehead and drive around and exterminate everything. I just think it's a shame when kids think that, like, simple things like making forts and stuff like that, making dens like we used to when we were kids, you know, that's.
I remember when my son was little, and you buy him a toy in a nice fancy box, and he spent 5 minutes playing with the toy, and then 3 days playing with the box.
Yeah.
And you think, why did I bother with the toy? Why didn't I just go and get some boxes?
Oh, Gwendolyn's like that now with cardboard boxes. She's terrible. Stevie's applied for a job.
Oh, trust me, with Nova, I can't leave cardboard boxes around the house because I'll be searching for her for 5 minutes. She's in the box.
Yeah. I see nothing wrong with that. Nothing. Obviously, so long, just watch out for like staples and things like that. You know.
Well, yeah.
You know, obvious, you don't want kids getting hurt, but apart from that, just let them fucking play. Let them have fun. Let them. All right, it's annoying when they make a mess. Yeah, you got to tidy it all up. But
the only one that bothers me is when they get into like the toys that have sand and glitter and all that type of shit. Okay, that's a little bit more of an inconvenience.
That stuff does get everywhere.
Everywhere. Oh, God forbid they get a hold of styrofoam.
No, Gwendolyn's latest one, which has been for the past year, really. Anytime she does something that she's not supposed to, and I can be in the front room or in here, quite happily doing something, door shut, quite happily working away. She gets in trouble for something, for doing something. It wasn't me, Daddy did it. Every fucking time, I'm to blame. She's learning. If in doubt, blame some other daft bastard. The problem is, I'm always the daft bastard.
Well, can't argue.
Well, no, I'll accept that. It's very true, Lisa. It's good for their imagination because it gives them that being able to think. It's good to encourage imagination.
It's one of the things I dislike about the modern world is too many kids don't have any imagination anymore.
Here's a tab. Here's, you know, when I say tablet, I mean an iPad type. Here's an iPad or a tablet. Off you go and play.
Yeah.
That's not an imagination. At least when we were kids, well, first of all, they didn't exist. Computers didn't really, no, they didn't exist.
They didn't exist.
It was like, here's a book, go and read, dumbass.
Yeah.
So you'd go and read a book. Very true, Steve. You do need to feed a child's imagination. Yeah. Gwendolyn's imagination is fucking lethal. Stuff she comes out with is fucking hilarious. It really is. It's comical.
Best one ever. A certain individual came on screen. What is that? Oh no, not again.
How is Nova, bless her? What is it? It's me, you tit.
I was talking about the other one when Gwendolyn saw a certain Mancunian come on the screen. Oh no.
Oh, God.
Well,
Oh,
she turned around about
It was,
bang.
it was great though.
Nova did it a few times to me, bless her, till she got used to me, because Nova was a little bit wary, maybe.
Oh,
Which is understandable with kids, which is a good thing in kids to be a little bit
Well,
wary of people
yeah.
in a modern world. But yeah, when Mag came on, and then she came out with that, and then afterwards she was talking to Alana, and she says, "Why does Daddy have to do a show with that idiot?" It's like,
That wasn't exactly the word she used.
right? No, there were a few others in there, but at that point, my head went like, "She's got a fucking good point, actually." But,
I'm so glad I'd almost finished my coffee just then.
that is also true, Stevie. Yes, Dave's first tablet had the Ten Commandments pre-installed. It had the GOD operating system.
Yeah. And he broke 7 of them before he got back down the hill.
Correct.
Hey up, Michael.
Hey up, Mike.
Not happy with you bastard, putting pictures of your steak on the other night.
You might want to come up with a plan.
That's a new one.
Anyway.
I'll give you that one, Mike. That's a new one. Fuck nuggets. I like that.
Oh, I've been
That's an
called a lot.
old one.
Been called a lot worse by Mike over the years. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How's life in the world? In your world, Michael?
There's no there. Are you doing that?
Hectic is probably what you'll get back.
Boom.
Well, Bill's got a drippy tip again.
It's because it landed in me coffee like that.
You're not meant to dunk your mod in there.
I'll tell you what, it tastes nice.
This show does not condone the vaping.
Yeah, do not dunk your mod in your coffee.
Well, fortunately, there was only that much coffee left.
I think the probate bit is probably the worst bit, Mike, is getting hold of all the paperwork that you're going to be asked for.
Well, yeah.
Because they'll want every piece of paperwork going back to when your mum was, like, born, basically. All the paperwork that your mum probably put somewhere safe and didn't tell you.
So you've no chance of finding some of it.
I'm gonna think then too, keeping things safe meant, pulling a couple boards out of the wall and sticking it in behind the boards. So good luck finding anything.
We're not on about Amish way of doing it. Putting it in the milk churn.
I was going to say, we don't have walls that you can take apart that way. It tends to be under the floorboards.
America, it's easy to get in. You don't need to break into an American house. You just cut a hole in the wall.
Just remove 3 planks and walk straight in.
If you need help with it, Mike, I'm sure one of us can give you some help with it, mate. I can give you the link after the show if you want, and then we can have a chat and see if we can help you. So, are you getting a solicitor to do the probate for you, Mike? Which I hope you are, because if you're trying to do it yourself, don't do it yourself, because trying to do probate yourself is, yeah, it's like bomb disposal while fucking blindfolded. It's not going to work out very well.
I was going to say, they're not the cheapest people to hire on earth, but a good probate solicitor can be worth a fortune.
Get yourself one, like, as soon as you feel up to getting one, Mike. Probate, I think I paid, I think it cost me about 700 total on the probate side, and then there was other stuff that wasn't to do with probate, but it was about 700 and something. But believe me, when you look at the paperwork involved, and it's easy to fuck up. And if you do fuck it up, the consequences are not good. Looks like I fucking got stuck somewhere.
But
What?
that sounds...
I'm not sure that's... Shouldn't be that much, Mike.
No.
No, Mike. If you're not going to listen to me, which I quite understand, take it from Lisa, because Lisa used to deal with this a lot, banking wise. She dealt with a lot of financial stuff, so she's very clued up on it. 1 to 2% of the estate is taking the piss, big time.
Yeah, you should only be on... A lot of them will do it on a fixed fee.
Usually for probate, it's anywhere between sort of, from what I can see nowadays, it's usually between 500 and 1,000, depending where you are in the country.
Yeah.
Now that might,
Yeah.
I'd be looking elsewhere. Even if you go to somebody and ask them, they should be able to give you a rough figure of what you would expect it to cost.
Yeah, I wouldn't think they'd do it percentage-wise of the whole estate. That makes no sense.
No, that's someone making money on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, please, please have a word with another solicitor. I would, Mike.
Yeah, I would definitely look for another solicitor.
The thing is, Mike, you could change solicitors without a problem. And as
Yeah.
Lisa just said, there are proper probate solicitors who deal purely with probate law.
So a good probate solicitor, relative to their knowledge, is not expensive. If they're charging at a percentage, they're making money.
Yeah. Right. I am going to call the show at 1 hour and 52.
Yeah.
As our illustrious bus drivers crashed into a bus stop somewhere. And I will send you the link, Mike. If you want to come in, come in. If you don't, you don't have to. And I'll send the link over to you, Lisa. Then the same for you guys if you want. So I shall let you Muppets do your goodbyes.
All right. I'll start this week. It's been a good show, and we've managed to talk about what we wanted to this week, because I think it was an important subject. You need to keep an eye on, particularly if you're on long-term medication, you've got to keep an eye on the whole supply thing, because it's getting worse. And so doctors are looking to reduce medication if they think they can get away with it as well, because they get charged for it, I found out. if they're like my doctors, the doctor has a budget for medication, and what they prescribe comes out of their total budget, and so they try and cut out things if they can.
Yeah.
The group's there if anybody needs us. If not, we'll try to find something interesting to post. Failing that, Stevie's going to post more car porn anyway. So, hope everybody has a good week, and I shall hand it over to Tyler.
Thank you, Bill. Well, not much can really add. It's the same thing for the most part. You guys know our spiel. If you need us, you know where to find us. Simple as that. Like Matt said, I'll send the link over here in a minute to a couple of you guys, and we can get in and have a conversation about whatever's going on. But yeah, everybody have a good week. Try to make it through the week like, best you possibly can. And for me, I'm going to get my ass to the doctor and figure some shit out. So there's that. Off to you, Matt.
Yep. Not a lot for me to say, guys. I'll also send you guys the link in a sec. Try and have a good week, peeps. Tyler's going to go to the doctors to get his erectile dysfunction sorted.
Maybe I'll get taller.
I'm not saying a word.
I was setting you up, Matt. I even gave you that.
I am not. That's an old Willie Nelson joke, and I'm not doing that. No. Right, he's fucking. I'll say goodbye from me, goodbye from the guys, and goodbye from Craig, wherever he may be. Probably stuck in a bus stop somewhere.
Holding it up.
Very unusual for Craig, but I know he said it was an important meeting he had this week, so, and he'll be back next week, bless him. So
Yeah.
that's all from us, and we shall see you later, guys. So
Yep.
bye-bye for now.
Bye all.